All right, guys, back with the last polling results before the polls close today. There's going to be some results, I guess, starting to come in around 7 p.m. Eastern as the Newfoundland and Labrador polls close. So hopefully we get off to a good start. But let's go over with some things here. And by the way, I will be going live tonight somewhere between 7:30 and 8 o'clock. So turn on your notifications. And as soon as I'm live, you'll get those notifications. You can come drop by. With that being said, the final IVR poll for the 2025 Canadian election, a lot of people have asked me, this is from StatCloud, so a lot of people have asked me why numbers are different than other pollsters. The truth is, I don't know. I follow the principles of random digit dialing and ran polls from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day to ensure that every single person in Canada had an equal chance of being selected for my poll, which means he wasn't just calling in the daytime like a lot of pollsters. Okay, so they go on to say the poll stated at its intention up front that it would be approximately 4 minutes. Respondents could answer using the number pad on their phones, and then all respondents would be completely anonymous, yada, yada, yada. So apparently there was a few questions here, took 4 minutes, but the results are in. Let's have a look. So 45% for the Conservatives, and this is just for BC, Ontario, and Atlantic Canada. I think the reason they did it that way is because we kind of know what's going to happen in Alberta and Saskatchewan. We kind of know what's going to happen in Quebec. It's either going to be Bloc or Liberal in most ridings. So the British Columbia, Ontario, and Atlantic Canada, that's where the Conservatives need to do well. If they don't have to blow it out of the water, they just have to they can't fall too far behind from the Liberals. They've got to keep it close. So there's a gender breakdown here. 45% for the Conservatives, 43% for the Liberals, 8 for the NDP, 2 for the Greens, 2 for the Peoples. Gender breakdown. Actually, we'll do that in a second here. I got a better post to actually show you a graph on that. So, here we go. Here's the demographics. These are interesting numbers. Canadian federal election, party support by gender and age group. April 21 to 27. What was the sample size on that poll? So if this is 4,000 people, right? That's more than most polls. So, start off with men of all age. 52% Conservative, 37%. There's a big lead there for men. Women of all ages. Interesting that the Liberals only have a 3-point lead here. 43% of the Conservatives, 40%. 18 to 34. This is a big one. There's an 18-point lead for the Conservatives, guys. This demographic, though, 18 to 34, they show up the least to vote. They need to turn up today. Or in advance polling, but a lot of people are going to be voting today. They need to turn up for the Conservatives. If they show up in droves as much as, especially as women over the age of 55, who are the biggest demographic of voters, we're going to win this thing. 35 to 54, 51% to 38, there's a 13-point lead there. It's big. 55 plus, and this is the problem, right? 52% for the Liberals, 39% for the Conservatives. I know most of you who watch this channel are boomers and are conservative, or late Gen Xers / boomers. Hopefully you did whatever you could to convince people. I had a few friends I had to convince. I think it worked, but we'll see. Now this is interesting, right? Men 18 to 34, 57%. Young men overwhelmingly want change. 22% for the Liberals. I mean, the left is getting blown out of the water with young conservative leading men. Men 35 to 54, again, a huge lead. Although the Liberals are doing much better and the NDPs, it looks like they're well under 5% there. But there's still 19-point lead. It's a lot. Men 55 plus, this is where it starts to go a little bit sideways here. 50% Liberals. Man. But there's only a 6-point lead here. And I do expect the NDP to do slightly better here, although not much. This young men, they're kind of finished with the NDP. It's conservative or liberal. And again, this group needs to show up. Men 55 plus, it's a decent voting demographic, but it's not the biggest. Show up and make this closer. If this is closer, it's huge. Now this is interesting as well. Women 18 to 34. 9-point leads for the Conservative. 40% to 31 for the Liberals. Young ladies, you got to show up as well. Bring your friends. Vote for Pierre. Still got some time if you're in the East Coast. I think our polls are open till 9. Women 35 to 54, 46% to 39. So again, a sizable lead, 7 points. And here's the big one for the Liberals. And this is also the group that shows up the most to vote. Women 55 plus. 54% conservative. Sorry, liberal. That is sad and kind of unbelievable. To the conservatives, 35. We're not going to win this demographic, unfortunately. But this is the demographic that shows up. This is the demographic here that mostly where they don't show up. This has to change. Men 18 to 34 and men 35 to 54. I really hope you did your thing and got out to vote today. We need you. Okay, the older people who have want the Liberals to win, they've had their time. I don't understand what they're not seeing. I can't believe they're scared of a person who paints his face orange, but they are, and they're motivated to vote, and that they showed up. They always do. Men 18 to 54, really, especially men to 18 to 45. Got to get out and vote. And just by the way, just want to tell you guys, I'm 36 years old. I've never voted conservative in my life, but I did today. I voted today at Hamilton Center, and I also saw a couple conservative signs in a very traditionally heavy NDP riding. We'll see. But it's going to be very interesting. A little bit nervous, as you can probably tell. Stuttering a little bit more, getting myself a little bit messed up more than usual, but we'll see, I guess. I mean, we voted. We let our voice be heard. I was hoping in the past couple of years since I've had this channel, I've persuaded people to vote conservative. Hopefully I did my part, and hopefully we show up today. Young men specifically, and young women. I hope we showed up and showed the and again, not all boomers. In fact, you know what? I think we should separate boomers from doomers. The Pleb actually came out with this. Doomers are the liberal boomers. Boomers are the conservatives. They're the ones who are loyal to this country and want change. The doomers don't want change. They're almost nihilistic. But you guys aren't doomers, you're boomers. You're real Canadian patriots. You voted for change. Thank you for what you did. Thank you for all the support in this channel. Of course, this is not the end of this channel, but going to be back with more videos regardless of the result tonight. And again, I will be live streaming just before these results start to come in around 8 o'clock. That's when we're going to have the first kind of wave of results coming in. So I'll be live, and hopefully you join me. Thanks so much for watching. I'll be back shortly with my live stream.